Ever feel like everyone else got handed the social rule book from day one, but you somehow missed orientation day? If you're autistic or think you might be, you've probably run into these moments and thought, why is this normal? Most people don't ever question these rules, but for us, they can feel like they're written in a totally different language. Today, we're breaking down 10 social rules that make absolutely no sense to many autistic people. And the last one, even neurotypical people probably wish they could ignore it. Ready? Let's dive in. Rule 1, say you're fine even when you're not. You ask how someone is and they say,
fine.
Even if they're clearly not, but you're not supposed to acknowledge it. If you say something like, but you don't seem fine, now you're the one being awkward. Autistic people, especially those late diagnosed, often take questions literally. So if someone asks how we are and we're not okay, we might say something honest like, kind of overwhelmed, but managing. Cue the social panic for both of us. We're not trying to overshare. We just thought you wanted an actual answer. If, hey, how are you? Really means, yeah, let's just politely nod and move on. Maybe we need a new question. I've started saying, hey, hope you're doing well, and then moving on. Seems more honest if I'm not ready for a full conversation. And then you learn the exchange doesn't even really matter. So why are we doing this? I'll do anything for a corn dog. Rule number 2, pretend you don't notice weird things so you don't make the other person uncomfortable. There's spinach in someone's teeth, or they have one hair sticking out, or their fly is down. Everyone sees it, don't they? But no one says anything. Because if we point it out to help, it's like a 50-50 chance we'll be called rude or insensitive. For us, honesty usually comes from a place of care, not judgment. Saying nothing feels fake. So when we're expected to prioritize social comfort over being helpful, that doesn't feel right. But the alternative gets us in trouble for making someone else feel uncomfortable. How do we win here, people? And before we keep going, if you want a quick reference guide to help you decode confusing social situations like these, download our free guide. We've included possible ideas that are realistic, autistic-friendly options. Link is in the description. Rule number 3, look people in the eye, but not too much. Too little eye contact? You're shifty. Too much? You're intense. Keep looking back and forth? Now you look like a cat that's trying to escape, which you might be feeling like right now. The rules around eye contact are vague and exhausting. And they can change based on context and culture, and even who you're talking to. But no one comes right up and says, hey, here are my guidelines for eye contact today. For some autistic people, eye contact can be uncomfortable or even painful. It doesn't mean we're not listening. In fact, it could be the opposite. We might really want to focus. And then the overload of looking at you while remembering when to look away periodically and to nod and all those body language cues that we need to do at the same time. That means we have a hard time listening. So that usually means we're more comfortable focusing our eyes elsewhere. Does that make us untrustworthy, like some cultures believe? Nope. And can we make eye contact? Yes. But it's often a layer of masking, and it probably means we'll need a break later, or right now. Rule number 4, say things you don't mean, and everyone knows you don't mean them.
We should hang out.
Really? Do you really want to?
How about for lunch tomorrow?
How about for lunch tomorrow? Awkward silence. Statements like this often mean nothing. It's like the closing to a conversation where you end with something you don't really mean. But many autistic people take things literally. If we don't want to hang out, can we say that? Nope. We need to play along. But also, what happens when we do follow up? We show interest. Then we don't hear back. Was that because you were attacked by a gaggle of Siberian turkeys while hiking in the mountains and actually need emergency assistance? Or is it just that you didn't actually mean it to begin with? A lot of autistic people can be friendly but honest. I'm not going to say we should hang out if I don't really want to, but for a lot of non-autistic people, it's like speaking in code. And we have enough on our brains that we're not going to attempt to decipher that one. Rule number 5, don't correct people even when they're wrong. Correcting someone's mistake is often seen as rude. Maybe it's a mispronunciation, a wrong fact, or the time of a meeting that you've been dreading for weeks so the time has been seared into your brain forever. Autistic brains often prioritize accuracy and logic. It's not about winning or being right necessarily. It's about clarity. We're not trying to embarrass anyone. We just like the truth as concisely as possible. A lot of the time, social rules seem to say that doing this makes you either rude or a know-it-all. But wouldn't the other person want to know they're making a huge mistake before it ends up on a group chat or in a meeting? Especially when you're sitting there twitching because you know what's actually right. Rule number 6, act interested even if you're bored, but don't act too interested. There's this strange balance where you're supposed to mildly care about everything when other people bring it up, but you also can never get too passionate about anything. Autistic people often struggle here. We mask boredom with nods and polite noises, but when we info dump about something we do care about, too intense, too long-winded, too much. So we end up both never really sharing our true feelings and thoughts. And we lead other people to think we really must like the local gossip, mostly because we just don't know how to get out of those conversations. Rule number 7, don't take things personally, but also read between the lines. People say things like,
Don't overthink that.
or just don't take it personally. But then they also expect you to magically pick up on hidden meanings and subtle hints. Like when someone said,
You might want to take that seriously.
or when someone told me,
Yeah, you could change that part.
I thought it was optional, but it wasn't? Then why not just say that?
Change this one thing.
Problem solved. For autistic people, this is deeply confusing, especially in the workplace or with friends or family who are vague or unclear. It's not that we can't understand feelings. It's that we prefer them stated openly instead of buried under layers of hidden meanings and things that are implied and we probably didn't even notice. Because we were too busy thinking about what you said 5 sentences ago and processing it. So reading between the lines? No thank you. Many autistic people like clear, direct, concise. What we don't like? Mind games when we don't even know we're playing. Rule number 8, respect the hierarchy, even if the person hasn't earned it. There's this expectation to treat people differently based on titles or their positions, regardless of how they act. Think about it. Bosses, teachers, doctors, supervisors, even just people that are older than you in some cultures. But autistic people often don't buy into social hierarchies just for the sake of it. So many autistic people can follow these rules, but it still doesn't make sense. Shouldn't we respect people based on their actions and not just their title? This is part of why a lot of autistic kids get in trouble for talking back to parents and teachers when they question why they need to do something, or when they correct them for making a mistake, which goes back to rule number 5, or why autistic adults might seem like they are difficult at work when they don't just follow orders. But if the orders don't make sense, it doesn't matter who gave them. Still doesn't make sense. Oh, I'm supposed to do it just because you said so? I see. Repeat this a few times. Cue the search for another job. Rule number 9, spend time in loud, chaotic places and somehow also have conversations there. You're expected to connect with people at loud restaurants, crowded events, or in the break room at work. So let's hold meaningful conversations while being blasted with noise, lights, and constant stimulation. And now I'm starting to feel hot. Did someone turn up the heat in here? Yes, trying to talk in that environment means I might as well try to have a meeting with you in the middle of Times Square, during a parade, in the middle of an avalanche, while eating corn dogs. For autistic people, that makes 0 sense, and it probably doesn't make much sense to you. But that's what a lot of settings like birthday parties or even meetups at cafes can feel like. And then if it's something like a concert or a sporting event, just pay attention to the game, people. Why are we shouting about current events in our lives when we should be paying attention to what we came here for? Rule number 10, fake it till you make it. There's a cultural expectation in many places to fake confidence, fake happiness, fake energy, even if you're struggling. Push through the pain. Act like everything's great. And that works for some people, but autistic folks often feel deeply uncomfortable pretending to be okay when we're not. We value authenticity over performance, and that's massive autistic masking right there. Sure, other people might fake it till they make it, but autistic people, especially the high maskers who didn't even know they were autistic for decades, we are faking a lot of stuff every single day. And here's the thing. Autistic people have our own ways of being, our own communication styles, and our own values around honesty and presence. So when we start to unmask and stop faking it, that's us being true to ourselves too. And it's something that can help us live better lives overall. So if you've ever been made to feel weird for just saying what you believe or pointing out something obvious, you're not the problem. But maybe the rule just doesn't make sense to you. You're not alone on that. Drop a comment with your own rules that don't make sense, and make sure you subscribe and keep watching for more on Your Autistic Brain.